So good afternoon, Facebook. I just want to make a quick video here. I've been asked probably the most common question that I ever get asked in real estate. Is it a good time to buy or to sell? So in this month's Market Watch newsletter that's about to go out to everybody's mailbox, I'll be explaining how the real estate market's doing. I got an article that I read from this thing, a newspaper. Also be able to look at some trends, what's going on with the real estate market and how that affects everybody there, and also how we can kind of predict what's going on. So what I got here is kind of some slides to go over with you guys, actually some graphs that really helps us being able to determine what type of market it is. But I also want to show you about this article I have that I was reading. This was in USA Today, going over the house hunting market. So you have an edge this spring. Also, I want to go over this month's Market Watch newsletter that you guys should have in the mail now. And I don't want to forget to mention also our golf tournament we have for benefiting Hasselhoff Children's Hospital. That's going to be August 17th. It's a Saturday. It's going to be over at Valley Country Club. We're going to have a great time. If you guys are interested in playing, you can always email me at nathan@nathanclarkteam.com. Comment below. We'll respond to you there. You'll be able to see lots of good stuff and have a good time when we're doing that. So with that said, let me dive right into what I was talking about with you is our Market Watch newsletter. So our Market Watch newsletter will keep you informed of what's happening in the real estate market in Rhode Island and really around the country, taking articles that we read from all over the place and knowing what's going on. It's a great feature to have. And one of the things that really wanted me to do the video was reading this article today. Someone left on my desk here. I'm still trying to figure out who did that. But it was basically going over the house hunting. Do you have an edge in this market? So if you want to see it, you can actually go to USA Today. This is where the article was, and I have it on the screen here, so you should be able to see it. But what this is going over is basically what we've been seeing since about July of last year. You know, last year, 2018, was a historic time where we saw many people get into bidding wars in their houses. There wasn't enough inventory. They called it the recession of listings of houses for sale. So there were more buyers on the market than there were sellers. And supply and demand will tell you what happens when there's more buyers for anything and not enough of the product they want to buy, in this case houses, the price is going to go up. So the demand created the prices to go up in houses, and we were seeing bidding wars left and right last year, people paying over the asking price, which to some people that's insane, but it does happen because it just becomes the norm out there. So what was driving that was really low interest rates, and you could read that right in the article by USA Today. And nationwide, a couple key points that I was reading in here is that things have cooled since last summer. Okay, several factors are now in the buyer's corner that is helping them. Is there's actually more supply out there. So now, does this mean we're going back to the 2008 recession that we saw in real estate? That's the first thing everybody wants to start to crying out there that the sky is falling, right? No, we're just going to go back to a typical real estate market, which in my opinion is good for everybody. What happens when real estate prices just keep on soaring up and up and up, we come into the fact that houses don't become affordable. And that was really what drove the decline, not the decline, but the slowdown from July of last year. Was really prices were just getting so out of reach that first-time buyers couldn't buy a house. It wasn't affordable for them. And then interest rates also started to creep up last year. And I think that was the buyers kind of tapping out, saying, okay, it's not affordable anymore. And so what happened was the federal government reacted. And about December of last year, 2018, the federal government started ticking the interest rates down lower. So we look at the data. I kind of saw this coming, was talking to people about that. If you can see my screen here, what I look at and what I share with our clients is really signs that show that it's happening. So if you, if I blow this up, you see a little better here. If you look at this graph, you can see what we look at to determine what's happening in the real estate market is average days on market, number of listings out there, how long they're taking to sell, and also the asking to sale ratio. So you can see this is an average days on market. We saw in the beginning, about this time last year in March, the average days on market was 68 days, then it got lower and lower. And then right about in July was pretty much the peak. That's where we saw things really peaking out there. And then all of a sudden, right after that, we see goes up to 50 days in August and starts going up. Right now, we're at 76 days on the market. The average house is taking to sell. And this is in Rhode Island up to February of this year. So just up to last month. Let's look at average units, average days on market, but the sold to ask ratio. Okay, sold to ask ratio is very telling for me, because as I was saying before, when the market was red hot, we were seeing that it was multiple offers in every house that we put out there, not every house, but many houses that we put out there, and they were going over asking price. Okay, so listing to sale ratio, what this data is, this is showing us of houses that are listing to sale, meaning, you know, if they get 100% of the asking price, that's the full asking price or somewhere near that. So you were seeing about 98.7% is what it peaked, okay, in July. And then what did we see sliding down? Looked like sellers a little more negotiable on their price. So right now, about 96, 97% is what the average listing is selling for. Last year, the Nathan Clark team, we were averaging 99.9% of our listing sale ratio, well above even the average out there. But you can see even the average across the state now is about 96, 97. We're still averaging about 99%. So we're doing a pretty good job for the sellers out there, getting them the right price for the house. So looking at days on market's going up. And we're also looking at days on market, average listing to sale ratio going down. Let's take a look at the average price of a listing. Now, looking at the average, you're seeing the same thing about there. You know, realize what you see here in July is what really sold in May. So this is really July's data. And so we see things sliding down from 341 of what the average buyer's paying. You see now the average buyer is paying around 300,000 to 287, so 290 to 300. So with all those things being said, what's happening? It's definitely seeing that you're not in a red hot market like we were in July, this time last year. And what's happening? We're seeing the same thing sliding as on number of houses sold. Okay, where here we were in July to number of units sold, sales are declining. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, listen, it's good news for everybody involved. And I know maybe the sellers aren't sitting there jumping up and down with that news, but really what this tells us is that there's more of an even playing field for both buyers and sellers. As I said before, when the information is out there that everybody's paying over ask price, a lot of people don't buy, or they do buy, but it gets frustrating for the buyers because they just want to buy the house. They don't want to get to a bidding war every time they see that. And it's very tough too for the sellers because, believe it or not, they need to buy a house and they're on the same edge of they're getting to bidding wars when they need to go buy their next property. So what we're seeing is definitely a more even buying playing field for buyers and sellers. But now more than ever, you can see the sellers really have someone that's going to negotiate for them, understand the real estate market, and that's really good for the professionals in the industry. You know, one of the things that we always battle out there, I'll just face it, is we're battling people that are coming in the industry with no experience, and you know, they're taking these listings away from really people that should be doing a great job for them, and they're learning on the seller's client. So we see a lot of those people that are doing this part-time get out of the industry, and it's more reserved for the professionals. So it's good for everybody around, I said, including our profession. So we're excited about it. And this is really good information. I think what you're going to see this year, and pretty much even the articles in the paper and online, as I said before, you'll start seeing that what everybody's predicting is interest rates will stay low. That's where they should be. That's how the market's reacted to these prices. And you also see that prices will be able to stay steady at this market, and it'll be very predictable out there. So hope this information was helpful. If anybody's interested in getting more information, getting part of the Market Watch newsletter, just comment below, leave me an email address, and we'll contact you with our market newsletter. We'll pop that in the mail to you, and you can enjoy the information out there, keep you on the cutting edge of what's happening in the real estate market. And if you have any questions and need to reach me, you can always reach me at nathan@nathanclarkteam.com. You can call me at 401-232-7661. Or, like I said, you can hit me up on my email address or right on Facebook. Be able to get back to you. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.